Hey guys, it's 1970 here, and welcome back to another GKO deck profile. So let's get this video started. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel want to see more content like this, leave a comment down below, and ring bell that you know when a new video comes out. Okay, so today we are showing off my Rikka Sylvan with a Ditto Predaplant engine in it. Print deck. So yeah, it's a very fun deck to play. Um, I'll show you what the ending boards are can be at the end. But yeah, okay. So we'll start off with we're gonna start off with the shops and then spells and then monsters last because I want to go a little bit backwards this time. So yeah, okay. Uh, y'all see, I'm using my um. I really love this map, so that's why I'm using this. You're wondering why I'm using my kill map today. Um, first strap is first strap and only strap I'm using. It's Rikka Training Choir. We won this at 2. What this does, when this card activates, you can also use one plant monster. So as you summon a weaker monster from your graveyard in defense system. Then, if you tribute a monster to activate this effect, press summon one plant monster from the graveyard in defense system. So it gives you back 2 monsters like Asher. That usually I do tribute a plant monster when I do it, so yeah. Well, it doesn't even have to be a plant monster, it just has to be a monster. Because you also tribute a plant monster, so yeah. I use polarization because I have the Predaplant engine in it. If you guys don't know what polarization is, fusion summon one fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as fusion materials. We want this at 1. And then we want super polarization. We want this at 1 in the deck. We want usually want 2 of it in the side if you want to know. I'm not showing you the sideboard because I didn't have to get that prepared for this. So I'm just going to tell you on that. Um, but yeah, I do want to know what super polarization does is discard card, fusion someone, fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters on either field as fusion materials. Neither player can activate cards or effects to the response of this card. Yep. Then we have 1 for 1. Of course, we have this at 1 because it's limited. If it was limited, I would win this at least 2. Um, don't know what 1 for 1 does, especially someone. Well, send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, but someone level 1 monster from your hand or deck. to the field. Well, it doesn't mention to the field part, but you know there's something into the field anyways. Next is Sylvan Charm. I won this at 3. What this does is draw 3 cards, then you have a Sylvan card in your hand. Reveal 2 cards in your hand, including at least one Sylvan card, then place it on top of your deck in any order. Otherwise, reveal your entire hand, then put it on top of your deck in any order. You can only activate this once per turn. So yeah, it's the main draw power of the deck. It's really great because I want a lot of Sylvans in it. It's a rare chance where you are putting back your whole hand. Very rare. Next is Rikka Glory or let's see. No. We want to have 1. When this card is activated, you can tribute 1 plant monster. Add a, you can also tribute 1 plant monster. 10 dice. You can add a weak monster from the deck to your hand. Then, if you tribute a monster to activate this card, add 1 plant monster with a different name but same origin type level as that monster from your deck to your hand. Well, okay, let me try that again. Add a plant monster with the same origin level as that weak monster, but a different name from your deck to your hand. Okay, was saying that one first, my bad. You only activate this once per turn. Next, and the last spell I won is Rikka Kona Kin. Is it? No, it's Kona Kona. It might be Kona Kona. I'm not exactly sure. It's their field book. This recently came out. You want to know what this does? If you control a weak monster, you can set 1 weaker spell or trap directly from your deck in your spell trap card zone. Also, you cannot special summon monster for the rest of the turn except for ramp monsters. You can only use this effect once per. You can only use this effect this field spell once per turn. If once per turn, if you would tribute a plant monster you control to activate a weaker spell card or effect to that. You can tribute any face-up monsters your opponent control, even though you do not control it. So yeah. So it lets me tribute my opponent's monsters every time. Uh, so, give me a second. Sorry. Okay. Now let's go on to the monsters. Um, let's do our level 1s first. So we have 7 Princess Spout. We want this at 1. It has 100 attack, 100 defense. It's a light attribute. What it does is you can only activate each effect of 7 Princess Spout once per turn. You can tribute this card, activate the top card of your deck, send it to grave. Then you can place 1 swap monster from your graveyard on top of your deck. So you can basically place a cell on top of your deck if you have another swap monster in your graveyard already. If this card is activated from your deck, you can send to the graveyard by a card effect. You can declare a level from 1 to 8. Special summon this card from the graveyard, and if you do, it becomes that level. Yep. This helps me with summoning the monsters out and stuff for extra noisy summoning. Next is Sylvan Cupid Spout. We won this at 3. It's light attribute, 100 attack, 100 defense. Its effect is when this card is special summoned, you can choose either 1 or 2, then activate that many cards from the top of your deck. Send any activated plants monster to the graveyard. The other cards on the bottom of your deck, in any order. If this card is activated from your deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, best summon one level 1 plant monster from your deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Want, but you can only special summon a level 1 once per turn off this effect. So, yeah, yep. On to the next. Yeah, my allergies are getting to me a little bit. uh, Next up one is Sylvan P. Keeper. We won this at 1. It has 400 attack, 100 defense. Maybe we can a little bit more for us. It's a 1 attribute. What he does is, when this card is no summon or special summon, activate the top card of your deck. And if it's a plant monster, send it to grave, otherwise put it on the bottom. If this card is activated from deck and sent to graveyard by a card effect, target 1 level 4 or lower plant monster in the grave. Special summon that target. You only use this effect once per turn. I always say this effect once per turn, even though it always says you're going to use this effect of 7 P Keeper once per turn. I don't really know if it's relevant to say the whole name for the cards. I did know it, but you can. So it's just a great way to get some stuff back. And last level 1 I'm wanting is Rikka Petals. We won this at 3. It's a water attribute. 0 attack, 0 defense. What she does, during your main phase, you can take 1 weaker monster from your deck, either, except for Rikka Petals, either add it to your hand or send it to graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monster for the rest of the turn, except for plant monsters. During your opponent's end phase, while this card is in your graveyard, If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are plant monsters, you can special summon this card. You can only use each following effects of Rikka Petals once per turn. So that's why we want her at 3, because she is the main searcher of the weaker part of the deck. Now we're going on to my level 3s. First thing first, Lone Fireball Zone. We won this at 3. It has 500 attack, 14 defense. It's a fire attribute. Of course, these are all plant monsters. You want to know. It's a whole plant deck, so yeah. Once per turn, you can tribute 1 face-up plant monster, special summon 1 plant monster from your deck. So that's what it does. Next 3 is Predaplant over Scorpio. We won him at 2. He has 1200 attack, 800 defense. He's a dark attribute. What he does is if he's normal summon or special summon, you can send 1 plant monster from your send 1 monster to that from your hand to graveyard. Special summon 1 plant monster from your deck except for Orpheus Scorpio. You can only use this effect once per turn. Well, you can only use Orpheus Scorpio effect once per turn, but that doesn't matter. On prediction of that. Yeah, I'm talking too much. So on to the next level. It's Predaplant, Dragon, Dragon, Dragonder, Cobra. I do not know if I said that correctly. It's a dark attribute, has 1000 attack, 1500 defense. What it does is, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Predaplant monster, you can add 1 power adjacent spell card or 1 fusion spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of this Predaplant once per turn, once per duel. Turn that. And we will now have 1. Okay, on to my level 4s. We're on 1 level 4, and it's the new Rikka Princess. We want this at 2. It's a water attribute, 0 attack, 0 defense, and what it does, during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, but while it's face up in the while it's face up in the monster zone, you cannot special summon monsters except for plant monsters. When your opponent activates a monster effect, well, you control a Rikka monster. Quick effect. You can shuffle this card from your hand or graveyard into your deck and tribute 1 plant monster. Negate that effect. So with You can use each effect we can push this once per turn. So with his with her as the combo, you usually treat your opponent's monster with the field spell and just negate the effect and literally get rid of the monster in the process. Is actually really good because it does it for cost. So it doesn't even so even if your opponent negates you from doing it, you still lose your opponent still losing a monster because it does it for cost. That's the only level 4 I'm wanting. Next is my level 6. Um, got Airy the Rikka Fairy. We want this at 1 has 24 attack, 1000 defense. The water attribute. What she does is when this card requires um when this card when I get my speed with this. A little bit. When an attack is declared involving another plant monster you control, you can tribute this card when your hand or face up on the field. That monster you control gains 1000 attack / defense until the end of the turn. If a face if a point monster you control is tributed while this card is in the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can trust summon this card in defense position, but banish them when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Airy the Rikka Fairy once per turn. So you'll possess the level 6 to summon from graveyard and stuff for me most of the time. It can give me extra power if I need it, but usually don't for this kind of deck. Next is Mador. I'm I think I'm not exactly sure if I'm saying that correctly. Or the week of Berry. We won this at 3. It has 1000 attack, 24 defense. It's a water attribute. What she does, you can trigger one plant monster, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal summon or special summon by the effect of a plant monster, you can add one weak spell or trap when your deck to your hand. You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn, or the week affair of this week affair once per turn, whatever you want. So yep, this usually gives me the spell shots I need quickly. Uses the field spell if I need it, because I don't want any terraformings in this deck because she's my searcher for the deck. So I don't really need terraforming that much. There's so many searchers in the deck on that. Okay, next is on level 7s. I'm only wanting one level 7, does it, you know? Uh, Sylvan Shades Gore. Or is it Gories? I think it's Gore. We won him at 3. We do have like a foreign kind of him. We do have English copies of him in case if anybody's wondering. Um, at tournaments and stuff. When we play this deck. Uh, let's see, that. He has 2600 attack, 21 defense, and he's one attribute. What he does is when a seven monster is sent from is sent to the graveyard, then it's set during damage step. You can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, you can activate the top card of your deck. And if it's a plant monster, send it to the grave. Otherwise, put it on top of the bottom. Put it on the bottom of your deck. If this card is activated from your deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one 7 spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So this usually gives me back Sylvan Charm if I want to get some more draws out of that turn. And it gives me another special summon for the deck. Next is my level 8s. And this is the last of the monsters I'm going to be wanting in the main deck. So first is Sylvan Hermitry. We won this at 2. It has 27 attack, 18 defense. It's a fire attribute. Its effect is once per turn, you can activate the top card from your deck to grave. And if it's a point monster, send it to grave. And if you do, draw one card. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck. So it's another great draw power for the deck. And if this card is activated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by a card effect, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then put them back on top in any order you want to. Next is Hellburn, or Hell, I think it's Hellburn. Rikka Fairy, I won this at 2. Has 2600 attack, 21 defense. It's a water attribute. When your opponent activates a monster effect that targets a monster you control while you control a Rikka monster quick effect, you can tribute this card from your hand or face it on the field, negate that effect. If this card is in the graveyard, you can tribute one plant monster, special summon this card in defense position, but banish when it leaves the field. You can only use each of the following effects of we get Hellborn Fairy, the Rikka Fairy once per turn. Next, and last card of the deck is Snowdrop, the Rikka Fairy. We want her at 3. She has 2100 attack, 2600 defense. She's a water attribute. You can tribute one plant monster. Special summon both this card and another plant monster from your hand. Also, you can special summon for the rest of the turn except for plant monsters. You can only target. Done that. You can target one plant monster you control. All plant monsters you currently control become that level until the end of the turn. So it's a level eliminator. You only use each of the following effect of Snowdrop, the Rikka Fairy once per turn. Next is the action deck. So we'll start with the links and go to fusions and then XYZs. links we want to Sylvan Dancer Pool or Pulp and say it on the sees link to 1200 attack when attribute. Um so you take 2 point monsters to make. If this card is linked to someone, you can choose from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, turn that, and activate that many cards from the top of your deck. And if you do, you can special summon up to 2 activated plant monsters. But they cannot be used as link materials. Also, send the remaining cards to the grave. You can target one plant monster in your graveyard. That has a level. The level of that monster that this card points to becomes that monster's level until the end of that turn. You can only use each of so dance pulp once per turn. Also, it's a one attribute. Forgot to mention that. Next is fusions. We want a little bit of weapon fusions. Not that many. We want one of each. So, well, not all of them, but yeah. We want one put a plant shrimp 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 over. No, I can't say this word. Shrimp over. Shrimp over room. I cannot say the full word. It's because I can barely read it on that one. It's a dark attribute, level 9. Takes 3 dark monster to make him. On field. 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense. What this does, it gains attack equal to the total original attack of all other monsters on the field, which credit counters. You can only use each of the following effects this point event once per turn. When your opponent special summons a monster from your extra deck, well, you control this fusion monster card. Quick effect, you can negate that summon and we do destroy that card. Destroy that monster. If your opponent controls a monster with a predator counter, you can special summon this card from your graveyard and defense resistant. Next is Starry Venom Preda Power Fusion Dragon. It's a dark attribute, level 9. No, wait, is it level 10? Oh. Oh, I should do this first, my bad. Did not realize this is level 10. um, Fusion Monster. This is a dragon. One. Has 3,600 attack, 25 defense. Takes 1 dark fusion monster and 1 fusion monster. This card is treated as a Predaplant card. Once per turn, when this card or effect is when a card effector is activated, quick effect, you can contribute 1 monster on the field with a Predator on either field with a Predator counter on it. And if you do, negate that activation. If this card is special summoned, if this fusion summon card at tonight, You control is sent to the graveyard by one's card. Target one dark monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Starving, Venom, Credit Power, Fusion Dragon once per turn. Next, next is Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. It's a dragon, 35, 33 times 100 attack, 2500 defense, dark attribute, level 10. No, wait, yeah, level 10. What takes one Predaplant monster plus one dark level 8 origin or or higher. Must be fusing someone. Once your turn, you target one face monster on the field until the end of the turn. Change is that target is attacked to 0. Also, that has effects negated. If this card is destroyed and disintegrator, destroy as many monsters as possible on the field. You can banish one level 8 or higher dark monster from your graveyard, special summon this card from your graveyard. Next is Star Venom Fusion Dragon. It has 2800 defense, attack. Let's say attack. 2000 defense. Dark attribute. It's a dragon. Takes 2 dark monsters on field, except for tokens. If this card is fusion summon, you can make this card gain attack equal to 1 but some monster your opponent control until the end of the turn. Once per turn, you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster your opponent control. Until the end of this turn, this card becomes that origin name and we replace this card. We replace this effect that monster's original effect. So it gets that monster's effect. If this card fusion summon is destroyed, you can destroy as many special summon monsters your opponent controls. Okay. And last one is Predaplant Dragon Stepula. 2000 attack, 1900 defense. It's a plant fusion. Takes 1 fusion monster plus 1 dark monster. Once your turn, quick effect. You can target 1 face-up monster on your opponent's controls. Put your fighter counter on it. And if you do, and if it's level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1 as long as it has a fighter counter on it. Negate is activated effects your opponent's monsters that has fighter counters. Now for the XYZs. We got 7 Princess Spira. I think it's Spira. I'm not exactly sure. This is a rank 1. One her at 2. She has 1800 attack, 100 defense. What she takes 2 level 1s to make. You can detach 1 material from this card as a top card, and if it's a spell trap, add to your hand. Otherwise, it's in the grave. You can send one plant monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Then target one summon monster in the graveyard. Let's summon it. You only need either of the following effects um, this summon once per turn. I'll just like that. We're one is at 2 for right now. I'll explain in a second why once I get to the certain monster. Next is Rikka Queen 7? No, wait. Streaming? Yeah, streaming. It's a water attribute, rank 4, 2000 attack, 2000 defense. Takes 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach one material from this card, then target one plant monster or one weakened monster from the graveyard. Either add it to your hand. Just add to your hand. If this card was XY, if this XYZ monster is tribute, you can select someone rank 5 or higher plant XYZ from your extra deck or grave. Then attach this card as material. You can only use each of the following effects this Rikka Queen once per turn. Next is Konasin, the Rikka Queen. We want her at 1. She's a rank 6, 2400 attack, 2400 defense, 2 level 6 monsters. If this card, if a monster is tribute, set during the damage step, you can detach one material from this card, then target one monster in either graveyard. That's summon, but its effects are negated, also it becomes a plant monster. If a plant monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can distribute one plant monster from your hand or field instead. You can only use each of the following effects of this Rikka Queen once per turn. Next is Orna, the Sylvan High Priest. Or is it? Uh, it's a rank 7 Dark Attribute. 2800 attack, 2500 defense. I only one does have 1. Um, 2 level 7 monsters. Just to make it. Once your turn, you can send one plant monster from your hand or face on the field to the graveyard. At the top cards of your deck equal to the level sent to from hand or field to grave. Answer a phone call. Be back. Just a little bit. Closer to 3. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. You can look at the top cards on your deck and place them back in any order. Once returning, detach one material from this card. Choose from 1 to 3. Then activate that many cards from the top of your deck. Then send point monster from your deck to grave. And if you do, put that many cards on top of your, yeah, return that up to that many cards to your opponent's hand, minimum 1, except this card. One, well, to anybody's hand. It's because it's just one field to hand. Also, place the other cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. If it's not playing monster. Next, we got Wink, Winkgate Evans, the Sylvan High Priest Protector. He's a light attribute. Wink, he has 2300 attack, 2300 defense, light attribute, 2 double 8 to make. What he does is once per turn, you can clear one name from activate top card of your deck, and if the cleared name, add to your hand. Otherwise, in the grave. If a card is sent from the deck to greater by the card effect, except during the damage step, you can detach one material from this card, target one card on field, place that target either on the top or bottom of the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Next level 8 is Teardrop the Wicked Queen. Okay, this is the one I was going to talk about for the rank 1. I'm going to be putting in another one of this to take out take one of her out for the deck. I just haven't gotten it yet. I'm going to be getting it as soon as I can, but just haven't been able to yet. Um, it's a water attribute. Takes 2 double 8 to make 2800 attack and 2800 defense. You can detach one material from this card, then target one monster, well, on field, shoot it. This card is a quick effect if you have a plant monster as material. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Uh, uh, you can only use this effect once per turn. Each time a monster is tribute, this card gains 200 attack for each until the end of the turn. And then last card is a rank 9 Scarab Free Beast Hybrid. No, High Priest. The Earth attribute 26 standard, 26 turn attack, 19 defense, takes 2 double 9s. During your turn, when you activate a card or effect, quick effect, you can target one of the exact same type of card, monster spell trap, in your grader. Attach that card as material. When your opponent activates during your opponent's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can detach material of the same type, spell trapper monster, from this card. And if you do, negate the activation. And if you do that, destroy that card. You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. Okay. And that's the basic of what this deck has inside of it. Um, Sorry about that phone call earlier. This had I'm just going to be doing something later on and try and see if I could get more time. But yeah, so I'm just going to be showing you um what one the any board is. I'm not going to be able to show you the combo for it. So yeah, this is a Jizo ending board for this deck. If you did not get this ending board, you got not the greatest. Okay. Okay. You usually have him, the Wicked Queen, the Field Spell, this, and this level 4 either in hand or graveyard. This usually has a monster and a spell card as material. Most of the time, there's monsters. Um, if the greatest ending board is also getting him out on field as the last card to get. But that does not always happen. That combo is a little bit more difficult. You can do this first turn with getting him out too, but him part the combo is not always going to happen because it's you have to get a really really good hand if you want to do that part of the combo. So yeah, if you guys really want me to show you how to get to that ending board, let me know in comments. I will do a separate video on that because I do not have time to do that right now. um, so I guess let me know on that. Like I said, wish I had more time, but just don't. Wait a second, I thought I would have, but yeah, that took longer than I thought to explain all the cards and stuff. So, hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Have fun playing this at tournaments. It's a really good deck. It works really well. Um, the combos are will take a second to figure them out. Like I said, let me know if you want me to do a separate video to show you guys all the combos and stuff. Cannot do that right this second. Um, Other than that, guess I'll see you guys later. Have fun playing this deck if you guys want to. See ya. Peace. This is 1917 signing off. Bye, guys.